Blood Money, inside South Africa's ruthless world of hitmen, corruption, and betrayal. A nation gripped by bloodshed, South Africa has become one of the deadliest places on earth for political figures, business people, and community leaders. Beneath its vibrant cities and rolling landscapes lies a dark undercurrent of organized murder. Targeted assassinations have surged alarmingly in the last decade. Between 2015 and 2022, at least 1,971 assassinations were recorded, according to a 2024 report by the Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime, GI-TOC. And the numbers are still climbing. These murders are not random acts of violence. They are meticulously planned killings carried out by professional assassins, men trained to kill for money, loyalty, or fear. Who orders the hits? The masterminds behind these killings are often powerful individuals. In the political sphere, corruption runs deep. Politicians seeking to eliminate rivals, secure lucrative tender contracts, or silence whistleblowers have been implicated in many murders. Investigations by South Africa's Sunday Times revealed shocking cases where political figures ordered hits to consolidate power or cover up massive corruption scandals. In the world of organized crime, gang bosses and drug lords deploy assassins to punish defectors, destroy competition, and enforce brutal loyalty. In provinces like KwaZulu-Natal, South African Police Service, SAPS, intelligence confirmed that hit lists circulate among both criminal gangs and political groups, blurring the lines between crime and governance. The making of a hitman, many of South Africa's assassins, known locally as Izinkapi, come from communities crushed by poverty. Profiles drawn by GI-TOC and interviews conducted in Cape Town's most violent neighborhoods paint a chilling picture. The typical hitman is a young man between 18 and 30 years old, often with a history of petty crime. Senior gang members or corrupt former police officers recruit and train them, teaching them the methods of stealth, tracking, and execution. The pay depends on the target. Killing a local activist might earn as little as $500 0 cents, R90. But taking out a high-ranking politician can bring a payday of over $15 0 cents, R270. Orders are passed through trusted middlemen. Payment is made in cash, usually half before the murder, and the rest after proof, such as a photo or video, is delivered. How the hits are carried out. Every hit is meticulously planned. Hitmen study their targets for weeks, learning daily routines, security patterns, and vulnerabilities. The methods vary depending on the target. Drive-by shootings are common in urban areas. Car bombs wreak havoc in cities like Durban and Johannesburg. Poisoning is favored in rural assassinations. Staged to look like natural deaths, fake car accidents are arranged by tampering with vehicles. Sometimes assassins disguise themselves as police officers. Dressed in real SAPS uniforms, they approach victims under the pretense of official business, gaining easy access and lowering suspicion until it's too late. Famous cases that shook the nation, several brutal killings have exposed the hidden machinery of assassination. In 2022, Sibusiso Mulongo, an ANC branch leader in KZN, was gunned down after whistleblowing about tender fraud. Sindiso Magaka, the former UNC Youth League Secretary General, was murdered in 2017 for exposing municipal corruption. In 2024, Patricia Wasey, a courageous anti-drug campaigner from Cape Flats, was found murdered after numerous death threats tied to her activism. These were not isolated events. They were symptoms of a deep and systemic rot. Why justice often fails? Even when assassinations are exposed, justice is rare. According to SAPS data, only 15% of political assassination cases result in convictions. Witnesses are too afraid to testify, and crucial evidence is frequently compromised by corrupt officers tipping off suspects. A 2023 parliamentary briefing revealed a shocking backlog of over 170,000 forensic evidence pieces, choking the already broken justice system. Without protection for witnesses and massive reform of the investigative process, justice remains how hitmen cover their tracks. Professional assassins are experts at disappearing after a murder, burning evidence. Clothes and phones are destroyed to prevent tracking, switching cars, getaway vehicles are abandoned and torched in remote areas, changing appearance, hairstyles, clothing, and tattoos are altered immediately. Thick alibis. Hitmen ensure they are seen in public places around the time of the murder. Witness intimidation. Anyone who dares to speak out faces threats or death. In 2023 alone, alone, SAFs found over 600 burnt-out cars linked to killings in Cape Town and KwaZulu-Natal. Where do guns come from? Guns are the tools of the trade, and in South Africa, they are easily available. Black markets in places like Nyanga and Mitchell's Plains sell illegal firearms for R3000 to R100. Corrupt police officers rent out or lose confiscated guns. Theft from evidence rooms places hundreds of weapons back on the street. Even old military rifles from Sand F stockpiles have found their way into criminal hands. In 2021, a scandal rocked SAFs when over 100 to 200 police firearms were reported lost, many later used in murders. Police uniforms, a deadly disguise. Police uniforms provide hitmen with deadly advantages. They lower victims' guard. They deflect witness suspicion. They enable fake police raids to reach targets. In 2022, over 500 police uniforms were reported missing, many suspected to be in the hands of criminal gangs. The system's a rotten core. Corruption is the lifeblood of South Africa's assassination industry. Detectives lose evidence, warn suspects, and sometimes directly assist hitmen. Politicians hire killers to silence rivals or protect illicit schemes. Prosecutors and judges face threats or bribes to drop critical cases. In one stunning 2020 case, a KwaZulu-Natal municipal manager ordered hits on 3 political opponents, and police admitted they faced political pressure to drop the investigation. Rituals of blood, the spiritual side of assassinations. For many hitmen, murder carries spiritual consequences. After taking a life, some seek the services of traditional healers or yangas to cleanse themselves of the blood and restless spirits of the dead. These rituals involve herbs, chants, and secret ceremonies aimed at protecting the killer from curses, madness, or death. Even in the high-profile murder of footballer Senzo Mewa, accused killers reportedly visited healers for spiritual protection. The rituals serve not only as supernatural shields, but also as psychological coping mechanisms for the killers. Living in fear, why heavy security is a must. In a country where life can be bought and sold, many politicians, businessmen, and taxi bosses live under permanent threat. To survive, they employ former soldiers, ex-cops, and private security firms, building armed convoys, armored vehicles, and shifting daily routines to dodge assassination attempts. Famous examples include taxi bosses in KwaZulu-Natal and politicians who now live like prisoners, constantly guarded and distrustful of even their closest colleagues. After the assassination of Sindis Omagaka, security companies saw a surge in high-risk contracts for bodyguards. Governments fight against a bloody tide. South Africa's government has tried to combat this epidemic through agencies like the Special Investigating Unit, SIU for corruption, the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, Hawks for Organized Crime, the Zondo Commission, which exposed massive state capture under Jacob Zuma. However, despite these structures, enforcement remains weak. Public skepticism is growing, fueled by a slow pace of prosecutions and political interference. A nation on the brink. In 2024 alone, South Africa recorded 26,232 murders, 72 per day, one of the world's highest murder rates. Mass shootings and targeted killings dominate headlines. In September 2024, 17 people, including 15 women, were gunned down in Lusikisiki, Eastern Cape. In February 2025, Muhsin Hendricks, the world's first openly gay imam, was assassinated near Gqeberha, a suspected hate crime or contract killing. Meanwhile, gender-based violence has exploded, with chilling cases like the murder of 2 women in Limpopo, their bodies reportedly fed to pigs, sparking national outrage. South Africa's world of assassins is a deadly web, spun from poverty, corruption, betrayal, and fear. Without deep reform in police, politics, and society, blood money will continue to stain the nation's future.